So one thing not a lot of people are talking about from the Indiana Fever game yesterday and the Portland Fire is what the hell ended up happening to Raven Johnson. So Raven Johnson ended that game with 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field, and fouled out in 10 minutes. Raven Johnson, if you guys don't know, let's look at her game log. In college, Raven Johnson, in her last season in college, Raven Johnson did not pick up more than 3 fouls in a game, some which she was playing 40 minutes. When was the last time Raven Johnson had 4 fouls in a game? That's the real question. When was the last time Raven had 4 fouls in a game? Let alone 6 in 10 minutes. Raven Johnson has not had above 3 fouls in a game. Did she even do it in her freshman year? Once. In 5 years playing in South Carolina, did she play at all in her freshman season? 2 games. In 5 years of South Carolina, Raven Johnson was within 1 foul of fouling out once. In terms of her minutes, Raven Johnson played 28 minutes per game once in some seasons. She committed 1.2 fouls per game. Raven Johnson fouled centers or power forwards 4 times yesterday. She gave up 2 or 3, I can't remember, and ones. And this is when you know a defensive system is bad. Like, the defensive system is bad when the player that you have signed for defense suddenly looks like a liability. That is when it is a system problem and not an individual problem. Like, that is when this is one of those things where you're like, this is a system problem. This absolutely has to be a system problem. And look, Raven is someone that is a really good defender. I think she's a really good defender. But all the narrative in college, oh, Raven can guard power forwards. No, she can't. No, she can't. And that's the one thing that I never understood people saying it. And it's like, she can guard power forwards because she guarded Sarah Strong for 1 possession. She spent 1 possession on Sarah Strong and suddenly she can guard power forwards. I'm like, doesn't work like that. Does not work like that. She then got cooked every time she switched on to Dugalich. And Dugalich has not been a great, WNBA player at all. It is, it's one of these things where I actually don't know. They drafted Raven Johnson to try fit a need. And I don't know how you can put Raven Johnson on the floor with the way they're playing. Because Raven Johnson's big thing is defense. And I'm sorry, Raven can't guard centers. The Indiana Fever switch 1 through 5. She's guarding centers. And by the way, it's a copycat league. You do realize nobody just walked into switches in a similar way to like the Valks did and the Portland Fire did until the Valks showed. The Valks showed that all you have to do is walk into switches. And the problem is that Raven Johnson can't guard switches. She's not Gabby Williams. She's not Leo Phoebus. She's not Breanna Stewart. Like, Stephanie White is running a defensive system that she ran because she had Dewana Bonner guarding the ball and Alyssa Thomas guarding the screener most of the time. Like, she was able to switch all in Connecticut because oftentimes, other than Ty Harris, who very rarely guarded the ball, you had Dejanay, you had Dewana, you had AT guarding ball. And then Bree Jones is a savvy defender. I felt really bad for Raven yesterday. I really did, because it was not her fault. It was not her fault in any way what happened yesterday. She fouled out in 10 minutes on the court. She has never fouled. I don't think she's fouled out in her life. She fouled out in 10 minutes on the floor because she just kept getting switched onto bigs. She kept getting switched onto bigs. And I'm like, if I'm the Fever, if I'm Raven, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Like, how is she supposed to show what she can play on defense? Look, on offense, it is what it is. It is what it is on offense. Teams are not going to guard Raven Johnson, and there are going to be games, just like 2 games ago, where teams aren't going to guard her, and she's going to start hitting her shots, and she's going to score a lot of points. And there's going to be games where teams aren't going to guard her, and she gives you 3 points. Like, Raven Johnson cannot, like, not that she can't play offense. They don't care if she scores. They really don't. They really don't care. They don't care in any way about if Raven scores. Like, teams are like, okay, Raven, you go and drop 40 on us. If you go 10 for 10 from 3, if you can go 10 for 10 from 3, you go 10 for 10 from 3. It is as simple as that. If you can go 10 for 10 from 3, do it. But on the problem is that, like, obviously, it becomes an interesting situation when a person that is literally just there for defense can't even play defense and is suddenly becoming a foul-prone player. Like, Raven, 4 fouls, 6 fouls. Like, Raven tries to swim over and get position in the post, and she fouls every single time. She's going to have to adjust. But it also shouldn't be up to Raven Johnson to guard centers. It just shouldn't. I'm going to be real. It should not be up to her to guard centers. And that's one of the big problems the last couple of games. She has been, that's kind of the way it is now. She's now in a switch-all defense, going to look bad on defense despite the fact she's a damn good defender. She's going to all of a sudden look really bad on defense because it's just not, it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. And yeah, it is genuinely a big one. It is a big one to see a player that very clearly is a player in the league. And if you look at all the underlying stats, Raven Johnson, advanced stats will tell you that Raven Johnson is one of the worst defenders in the league. Eye test will obviously tell you different because you know what this player can do. She's just not being put in positions to succeed. She's just not. She's on the floor in weird lineups at weird times, being asked to do stuff on offense that shouldn't be doing, and being basically having her hands tied behind her back on defense, trying to guard centers. It's an unfortunate thing with Raven, but it's just not going to be great. Like, until something changes. Like, look, there's a world where, and again, until the great change happens, which is either Caitlin Clark is gone and she's starting point guard, or Steph White's gone and there's a complete 180 in how the team plays, it's going to be hard to see what Raven Johnson is going to be able to bring.